Kirinyaga, Kenya, Missions 2025. This was a team of 14 individuals led by the Pastor Madrine. And the unique moment about this mission trip is that Pastor Madrine is from Kirinyaga.
Being with Voice of Grace, being with Pastor Madrine, they get to see the manifestation. It's not that she came from America, she is from Kenya. And she went back to Kenya, being the light. God called her to go back. And she went back with power and authority.
The main mission for this particular team was to go in and to decree and declare prosperity and revival in this nation.
We had the opportunity to go to several different schools to be a blessing, because that's what God sent us there to do. We wanted to make sure that the enemy know these kids do not belong to you. We've covered them in the blood. The bloodline was drawn to say to those kids and to encourage those kids. And what we were a sign of hope, a sign of love, that God could have picked any school, but he picked this particular school.
I had a lot of firsts, and I was telling the team that I was getting scratched. When I spoke to the 800 boys at one of the schools, it definitely was a challenge for me, but we was able to get through it. The team gave me the word rebellious. I'm not rebellious. I'm like, this really ain't for me. But while I was sitting there and the Lord was just dealing with me, I just cried the whole time, waiting on my turn to speak, because the Lord showed me that I was rebellious and that I was speaking to 800 boys, but I always wanted a boy. And the Lord was like, you didn't have a boy because you was rebellious, and you probably would have corrupted this one boy, but now you're here to speak to the 800.
So many young people gave their life to Christ. So many young people received the baptism of the Holy Spirit. And we know that that just means that now they have the power to be able to decree and declare for themselves what it is that they're believing God for, what it is that they know that God can do.
Our translator, his name was Dennis, and his sister, he mentioned that his sister had cerebral palsy. We actually had a chance to meet her, meet his parents, and the team came together collectively. We was able to bless his sister with the wheelchair.
It was amazing to see how God operates. Her brother had he had done a homemade wheelchair out of wood because his sister needed aid and support. But to see God be able to bless him with a wheelchair for his sister, and the look on his parents' face, just how blessed and grateful and thankful they were to the team. And what the team is doing is pointing at God, because we can do nothing without him. God is the way maker. So not only what that did for the family, but what that did for the congregation, to know that God hears your prayers. But not only does God hear your prayers, he'll answer those prayers.
So MIY is the acronym for the Mentor in You. This is a vision that God gave our co-pastor. It started in 2012 with 12 mentees, and God has taken this vision across international waters. And we had our first encounter with the MIY Kenya in 2025. We had 5 mentees to be a part of the encounter. We got a chance to love on our sisters. And then because of the power of technology, we were able to have our very own co-pastor be able to, be a part and to show up and to pour into the mentees for the encounter. And she brought a mighty, mighty word. So we just thank God for the opportunity to duplicate what we see here in the US. We saw that in full force in Kenya. Mt.Gilead family, I come to report that we had 5 healing manifestations, 34 deliverances, 898 filled with the baptism of the Holy Spirit. That's 898 people that got some power. We have 1,025 salvations, 2,500 people fed, and over 2,600 prayers. I mean, God did a mighty, mighty work.
This is my first missions trip, and it was amazing. This is the first time that I got a chance to see my money in action. Because we talk about the mission field and we talk about everything we're doing, but if you never experienced going, you would never get to see firsthand on what your money, your tithes and offering actually does.
We're so grateful and thankful to God, because he could have chose anybody, but he chose us to go do the work. And what he put in the inside of us, we yielded unto him, because after all, it's not for us. And so when God makes a demand on it, it's time to stand tall and do the work, because we are an army. And so we're so grateful and thankful to our bishop and co-pastor, and thankful for the family for their tithes and offerings, because that's what makes it possible.